Tell me, yes, how you are going to define uniform motion? What we will say about uniform motion? कैसे हम लोग यूनिफॉर्म मोशन को डिस्क्राइब करेंगे? Yes.
मैम सेम डिस्टेंस ट्रैवल, कांस्टेंट डिस्टेंस ट्रैवल करेगा सेम पाथ पे.
Yes. So how we are going to define? Listen, when a body cover equal distance, okay, in equal interval of time, जब कोई बॉडी जो है इक्वल डिस्टेंस कवर करेगा इक्वल इंटरवल ऑफ टाइम में, तो हम लोग कहेंगे कि दैट बॉडी इज इन यूनिफॉर्म मोशन. Okay, when a body cover equal distance equal interval of time, its motion is said to be uniform. Suppose, how we are going to explain? Suppose a person cover a distance of 50 kilometer in first hour and 50 kilometer more in other second hour, then the person is moving with a uniform motion. अगर कोई person जो है वो 50 किलोमीटर डिस्टेंस जो है वो जो है कवर करता है 1 आवर में, फिर नेक्स्ट आवर में अगेन ही इज कवरिंग द 50 किलोमीटर डिस्टेंस, देन वी से दैट दैट पर्सन इज इन यूनिफॉर्म मोशन. तो हम लोग कहेंगे कि वो पर्सन यूनिफॉर्म मोशन में मूव कर रहा है, मींस इक्वल डिस्टेंस दैट पर्सन इज कवरिंग विद इक्वल इंटरवल ऑफ टाइम. ठीक है, तो यूनिफॉर्म मोशन कैन बी डिफाइंड एज व्हेन ए बॉडी कवर इक्वल डिस्टेंस इन इक्वल इंटरवल ऑफ टाइम, वी कॉल that the body is in uniform motion. Now similarly, when we are going to describe non-uniform motion, what we will say? जब non-uniform motion को describe करेंगे तो क्या करेंगे? When the object cover unequal distance in equal interval of time, means time interval is equal but the body is covering unequal distance. Now can you give me any example of non-uniform motion? Yes. If in uniform motion we are saying that a body is covering equal distance in equal interval of time. Uniform में हम लोग example दे रहे हैं कि suppose a person is covering 50 kilometer in 1 hour. Again in 1 hour that person is covering 50 kilometer distance. So in this way, what we will see that in equal interval of time the person is covering equal distance. So the person is in uniform motion. Now in non-uniform, we are saying that time interval may be equal, but the distance covered is not equal. That is non-uniform motion. Okay, so unequal interval in if a person cover unequal distance in equal interval of time or equal distance in equal interval of time, then we call that person is in non-uniform motion. तब हम लोग वहां पे उस person को non-uniform motion में कहेंगे. Suppose someone is moving by car and in a crowded street, अगर street crowded है, ठीक है, तो क्या वो uniform motion में रहेगा? If the street is very much crowded, do you think that that particular vehicle is in uniform motion? क्या वो uniform motion में रहेगा? अगर वो unequal distance cover करेगा, क्योंकि street क्या हम लोग कह रहे हैं, it is over crowded. अगर बहुत ज्यादा crowd हो तो उसमें उसका वो स्पीड नहीं रह जाएगा जिस स्पीड से वो डिस्टेंस को कवर कर रहा है. तो यहाँ हम लोग क्या कह रहे हैं कि नॉन यूनिफॉर्म मोशन, इट इज डिस्क्राइब्ड एज that type of motion in which an object move unequal distance in equal interval of time. Distance cover क्या होगा? If the road is crowded, it is definitely going to be unequal. वो unequal distance होगा. जरूरी नहीं है कि जो स्पीड से वो आ रहा हो व्हीकल जो है उसी स्पीड से वो क्राउडेड प्लेस को भी क्रॉस कर जाए. नो, इट इज नॉट पॉसिबल. सो इट इज सेड टू बी इन नॉन यूनिफॉर्म मोशन. ये कैसे मोशन में है? नॉन यूनिफॉर्म मोशन में है. नाउ हाउ यू आर गोइंग टू डिफाइन स्पीड? स्पीड को कैसे डिफाइन करेंगे? यस, एनीवन? वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट यूनिफॉर्म नॉन यूनिफॉर्म मोशन. हाउ वी आर गोइंग टू डिस्क्राइब स्पीड? स्पीड को कैसे डिफाइन करोगे? Yes, anyone tell me how you are going to define a speed? See, it is the distance covered per unit time. Distance covered कितना किया, कितने टाइम में किया, टोटल डिस्टेंस ट्रेवल्ड बाय टोटल टाइम टेकन, दैट इज द फॉर्मूला ऑफ स्पीड। यही स्पीड का फॉर्मूला होता है ना। टेल मी आर्या, यू आर हियरिंग मी और नॉट? आर्या, okay, what is the formula of speed? How we are going to find out speed? कैसे हम लोग स्पीड को निकालते हैं? Yes,
by dividing distance by time.
by dividing total distance covered by total time taken. Different object may take different amount of time to cover a given distance. Some of them move fast, some of them move slow, that is given in your book. So the we can say that some object they move very fast, some object will take time to travel. So the distance covered will be differ. Okay, so what will be the total distance covered and what is the total time taken? That decides the speed. वो क्या डिसाइड करता है? स्पीड को डिसाइड करता है. तो we can simply say that the average speed of an object is obtained by dividing total distance traveled by total time taken. हम लोग एवरेज स्पीड को कैसे निकालेंगे? टोटल डिस्टेंस कितना ऑब्जेक्ट ने कवर किया और टोटल टाइम उसको उतने डिस्टेंस को कवर करने में कितना लगा, इससे हम लोग क्या करेंगे? वी आर गोइंग टू फाइंड आउट द स्पीड. Suppose I am representing here, I am using here for average speed, I am writing small b and I am writing here that is speed equal to total distance covered. Total distance we are indicating by s, total time taken is t. ठीक है, हम लोग इस तरह से इसको फॉर्मूला में रिप्रेजेंट कर रहे हैं that average speed equal to टोटल डिस्टेंस ट्रेवल्ड अपॉन टोटल टाइम टेकन. कितना डिस्टेंस उसने ट्रेवल किया व्हीकल ने और कितना समय लगा ट्रेवल करने में. ठीक है, नाउ लेट अस टेक वन एग्जांपल व्हिच इज गिवन इन एनसीईआरटी. एक एग्जांपल है, से अ कार ट्रेवल अ डिस्टेंस ऑफ 100 किलोमीटर इन 2 आवर, इट्स एवरेज स्पीड इज 50 किलोमीटर पर आवर. The car might not have traveled 50 kilometer all the time. Sometime it might be traveled faster, sometimes slower. जरूरी नहीं है कि एक कार ने जो है 50 किलोमीटर जो डिस्टेंस को कवर अप 100 किलोमीटर 2 आवर में जो डिस्टेंस को कवर किया है वो एक ही स्पीड में कवर किया हो. कहीं पे वो फास्ट होगा, कहीं पे वो स्लो होगा. ठीक है, तो ऐसे एक एग्जांपल दिया हुआ है कि अगर कोई ऑब्जेक्ट, इफ एन ऑब्जेक्ट ट्रेवल 16 मीटर इन 4 सेकंड एंड अनदर 16 मीटर इन 2 सेकंड, what is the average speed of the object? See how you are we people are going to find out. What we are saying that it is the object is traveling that is 16 meter in 4 second. 16 मीटर का डिस्टेंस वो ऑब्जेक्ट जो है 4 सेकंड में कवर कर रहा है एंड अनदर 16 मीटर इन 2 सेकंड, और दूसरा 16 मीटर कितने में कर रहा है? 2 सेकंड में. ठीक है, तो what is the average speed of the object? How we are going to find out the average speed? So first of all, what we will do, we will write the formula that is total speed, average speed equal to total distance covered upon total time taken. Now tell me what is the total distance covered by the object? We are saying that it is covering 16 meter in 4 second and again 16 meter in 2 second. 16 meter 4 second. What is the total distance? Yes, 32. Very good. So we are going to add this to, we are going to find out the total distance covered. So total distance हमने कितना ले लिया? That is 16 plus 16. That will be the total distance. It is equal to 32. That is equal
32.
to 32. And total time taken will be 4 second plus 2 second. That will be how much?
6 seconds.
It is 6. So what will be the speed? What will be the speed? Tell me. It is covering 32 meter and it is taking 6 seconds. So how we are going to find out what is the total distance covered? It is 5.33 meter per second. Okay. In this way, we are going to calculate the average speed of an object. Average speed को हम लोग कैलकुलेट करने के लिए क्या किए? We know that whenever an object cover a distance, it is indicated in the unit meter or kilometer. So in your book it is written that it is covering 16 meter. Okay, total distance covered will be 16 meter plus 16 meter. So total distance will be 32 and total time taken here mentioned 4 seconds plus it is 2 seconds, that is 6 seconds. Now how we are going to find out? We are going to find out in this way. It is 32 meter divided by it is 6 seconds. Okay, in this way we are going to find out the speed of an object. इस तरह से हम लोग क्या निकाल लेंगे? एवरेज स्पीड को निकालेंगे कि उस ऑब्जेक्ट का एवरेज स्पीड क्या है, टोटल डिस्टेंस ट्रेवल्ड अपॉन टोटल टाइम टेकन. ठीक है, इससे हम लोगों को जो है स्पीड मिलेगा. एंड the speed of an object is indicated in its unit, that is मीटर पर सेकंड स्क्वायर. उससे जो है हम लोग जो है उसका यूनिट को इंडिकेट करेंगे. ठीक है, दैट इज कॉल्ड एवरेज स्पीड. क्या ये क्लियर हुआ? How we are going to find out the speed of an object, average speed of an object? Is it clear to you all?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Now, until now, people have discussed many things. So let me ask some question from you from the taught portion. ठीक है, जो taught portion है उससे हम question अभी करते हैं कुछ. तो ये तो average speed की हमने बात की. That total distance traveled divided by total time taken, and in this way we are going to find out the speed of an object. Now, when we are talking about the velocity, okay, it is distance covered per unit time in a particular direction. Distance covered per unit time in a particular direction, that is called velocity. But before moving on to the velocity, I want to know from you, see, velocity is considered as a vector quantity while speed is considered as a scalar quantity. Now, what is the difference between these two, scalar and vector? Tell me.
Scalar.
Yes.
Ma'am, scalar quantity have distance and magnitude both, but in vector quantity there is only
और वो होता है.
Yes.
Scalar
Repeat your
quantity.
answer. Repeat your answer.
In scalar quantity
in
में
scalar
magnitude
quantity
होता है
there will
और
be
vector
only
quantity
this.
में direction और magnitude दोनों होता है.
Yes, in a scalar quantity only magnitude will be there. But when we are talking about vector quantity, there we will find magnitude as well as direction. Direction और magnitude दोनों रहेगा तो वो कौन सा quantity है? Yes, all the those quantity which have both magnitude and direction, that is considered as vector quantity. उसको हम लोग vector कहेंगे जिसमें direction भी रहेगा. ठीक है, scalar quantity only require magnitude for their complete description. अगर complete describe करना हो, जैसे हम लोग describe कर रहे हैं speed को, distance को, तो अगर हम लोग speed और distance को describe कर रहे हैं तो their magnitude is enough to describe it. But if we are describing the velocity, लेकिन अगर हम लोग वेलोसिटी को डिस्क्राइब कर रहे हैं तो वहां डायरेक्शन या डिस्प्लेसमेंट को डिस्क्राइब कर रहे हैं तो वहां पर डायरेक्शन और मैग्नीट्यूड दोनों को मेंशन करना है. तो दैट इज कॉल्ड वेक्टर क्वांटिटी. ओके, सो हियर वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट वेलोसिटी व्हिच इज अ वेक्टर क्वांटिटी. वेलोसिटी की बात कर रहे हैं तो वो क्या है? वेक्टर क्वांटिटी है. इट हैज मैग्नीट्यूड एज वेल एज डायरेक्शन. इट कैन बी पॉजिटिव और नेगेटिव और जीरो. ये पॉजिटिव भी हो सकता है, नेगेटिव भी हो सकता है और जीरो भी हो सकता है. ओके, नाउ इफ वेलोसिटी that is velocity. Now how we are going to find out the average velocity? See, it is defined as total displacement traveled per unit time. कितना displacement हुआ per unit time में, that is going to indicate the average velocity. Total displacement traveled per unit time, that is called velocity. उसी को हम लोग जो है वेलोसिटी कहते हैं. ठीक है, तो स्पीड विथ डायरेक्शन, इन दिस टॉपिक it is given that velocity is the speed of an object moving in a definite direction and the velocity of an object can be uniform or variable. That is given in NCERT. Velocity जो है, it is the speed of object moving in a definite direction. Definite direction में किसी object का क्या speed है, ठीक है, उसको हम लोग वेलोसिटी कह रहे हैं. एंड द वेलोसिटी मे बी यूनिफॉर्म और मे बी वेरिएबल. ये यूनिफॉर्म भी हो सकता है, वेरिएबल भी हो सकता है. इट कैन बी चेंज्ड बाय चेंजिंग द ऑब्जेक्ट स्पीड. अगर ऑब्जेक्ट के स्पीड को चेंज किया जाए, डायरेक्शन ऑफ मोशन या दोनों को चेंज किया जाए तो ये चेंज होगा. Now, when an object is moving along a straight line at a variable speed, we can express the magnitude of its rate of motion in term of average velocity. तो हम लोग average velocity के फॉर्म में उसको इंडिकेट कर सकते हैं. ठीक है. It is calculated in the same way as that of the average speed. उसको बिल्कुल average speed के जैसा ही इसको कैलकुलेट करेंगे. That is, in case of velocity of an object changing at uniform rate. जब अगर यूनिफॉर्म रेट है तो एवरेज वेलोसिटी क्या हो जाएगा? इनिशियल वेलोसिटी प्लस फाइनल वेलोसिटी डिवाइडेड बाय 2. ओके. मैथमेटिकली हम लोग कैसे इसको कैलकुलेट करेंगे? तो इनिशियल वेलोसिटी को मेंशन करेंगे, फाइनल वेलोसिटी को ऐड करेंगे, दोनों को ऐड करके डिवाइडेड बाय 2 कर देंगे तो फाइनल वेलोसिटी वी आर गोइंग टू गेट. Okay, so in this way we are going to find the velocity, average velocity को इस तरह से हम लोग find out करेंगे. ठीक है. जैसे हमने what we are going to write average speed as total distance covered upon total time taken. Similarly, we are going to indicate the average velocity as initial velocity plus final velocity, and then we are going to divide it by 2. In this way we are going to get the average velocity. जो है हम लोग ये डिस्कस कर रहे हैं. ओके. Now an object has moved through a distance. कोई ऑब्जेक्ट जो है किसी डिस्टेंस को मूव किया, can it have zero displacement? क्या उसका जीरो डिस्प्लेसमेंट हो सकता है? If yes, what is the reason? Tell me anyone. We are talking about an object which has moved through a distance. Can it have then zero displacement? Zero displacement कब होगा ऑब्जेक्ट में? If yes, tell me why.
मैम जब
मैम हो
हम
सकता
लोग
है
किसी पाथ पे जाके फिर उसको
वापस आए.
आ भी जाए, मीन्स रेफरेंस पॉइंट पे हम लोग अपोजिट
मतलब जब
डायरेक्शन
हम
में
उसको
चल रहे हैं तो वो
नेगेटिव में लेंगे
displacement
तो
zero
हो
हो जाएगा.
सकता है.
देखो, अगर हम लोग यहाँ पूछ रहे हैं क्वेश्चन में कि एन ऑब्जेक्ट हैज मूव थ्रू अ डिस्टेंस, कुछ डिस्टेंस को कोई ऑब्जेक्ट ने कवर अप किया, तो क्या वहाँ डिस्प्लेसमेंट जो है वो जीरो हो सकता है? डिस्प्लेसमेंट कब जीरो होगा?
Yes, ma'am.
When the displacement will become zero.
जब
Yes.
वो वापस आएगा.
When the direction acts opposite to the reference point.
Yes, very good. Arya is also writing that it come back to its initial position. Very good. Yes, if its initial position and the final position is same, then we say that displacement will be equal to 0. जैसा कि हम लोग क्लास किए कि जिस पॉइंट से स्टार्ट किए, we one example we people have discussed in the class that suppose an object is moving from here and it reaches here. In between these three positions are mentioned A, B, and C. This total distance, this is the initial position. This is the initial position. This object is covering this distance. Say it covered the distance of 60 kilometers, which is the final position. This one is the final point. So once the object reaches to this point and again back to its this initial position, the displacement will be 0. अगर initial position से start किया और वापस back आ गया उसी position पे final position से, तो हम लोग क्या कहते हैं? Displacement is equal to 0. So if the initial and final position is same, then displacement will be 0. Now next question. Which of the following is true for displacement? It cannot be 0. Is it true? Or its magnitude is greater than distance traveled by the object? See, two sentences I am saying that which of the following is true for displacement. कौन सा displacement के लिए true है? It cannot be 0. First I am saying. Second, I am saying that its magnitude is greater than distance traveled by the object. Now think about it, then answer. Its magnitude is greater than the distance traveled by the object.
Second वाला.
Yes, see, if magnitude may be less or equal than distance travel, but not more than distance travel. Okay, so second one is the true. Okay, and first one, it cannot be 0. No, we people have seen that displacement may become 0. Okay, when it becomes 0, if it start from initial position and again reach back to the from final position, it again back to the initial position, then we say that displacement is equal to 0. Okay, now can you tell me what is used to measure the speed of automobiles?
Speedometer.
Speedometer. What does the speedometer is used to for? It is used for measuring the speed. Okay, speedometer को हम लोग किस लिए यूज करते हैं? स्पीड को मेजर करने के लिए. स्पीड को मेजर करने के लिए. Now next question. Do you know about the term about odometer? What does odometer of? Yes. What does it measure? Odometer क्या measure करता है? Distance traveled. Distance covered. It measure the distance covered. Okay. Now next question is what does the path of an object look like when it is in uniform motion? If the object is in uniform motion, what does the path of an object look like? Straight. Very good. Yes, it is the straight line path. Okay. So far we people have discussed regarding all these things. Now can you tell me what is the difference between speed and velocity?
Speed and
First difference already we people have discussed, that is speed is a scalar quantity while velocity is a vector quantity.
Vector quantity.
Yes. Again, second difference.
स्पीड में डिस्टेंस होता है और इसमें ये डिस्प्लेसमेंट.
Yes, it is distance travel per unit time and it is distance travel per unit time in a particular direction. Velocity में हम लोग डायरेक्शन को जरूर मेंशन करेंगे. ठीक है, तो difference between speed and velocity is that is in speed what we are saying, it is distance traveled per unit time. कितना distance cover किया per unit time. Okay, and it is a scalar quantity. It is always positive. Speed always positive होगा. But velocity, when we are talking about, it is the distance traveled per unit time to a particular direction. It is a vector quantity and it may be positive, may be negative or zero. तीनों हो सकते हैं किसमें? In case of velocity. Velocity की अगर हम लोग बात करें तो. Now, you people come to know about average speed and average velocity. Tell me the formula of average speed and average velocity. How we are going to find out? कैसे में हम लोगों को एवरेज स्पीड और एवरेज वेलोसिटी निकलेगा?
We can find out average speed by dividing total distance by total time.
total time taken.
Total distance covered by total time taken, that is average speed. And how we are going to find out the average velocity? Yes.
By dividing total
plus
displacement by
final
total time.
By? How we are going to find out? Tell me. Average velocity equal to initial position plus final position divided by 2 we are doing. Now one example is given in NCERT. NCERT में एक example दिया हुआ है. Okay. The example is Usha swim in 90 meter long pool. She cover 180 meter in 1 minute by swimming from one end to another end and back along the same straight path. Find the average speed and average velocity. Okay. In this question, you have to find out both average speed and average velocity. What the question is saying, that Usha is swimming 90 meter long pool. 90 meter long pool है, उसमें वो जो है वो swim कर रही है and she cover 180 meter in 1 minute by swimming from one end to other. एक end से दूसरे end तक जाने में 180 मीटर को वो कवर करती है 1 मिनट में. ठीक है, और उसी पाथ से बैक होती है. Now how you are going to find out the average speed and average velocity? कैसे average speed और average velocity को find out करोगे? Yes, tell me how you are going to find out. Yes.
Average velocity.
Yes. Now, what is the total distance covered by Usha? What is the total distance covered by Usha? कितना total distance को उषा ने cover किया?
180 meter.
180. Very good. And what is the displacement in 1 minute? कितना displacement हुआ?
0.
The question is saying that she cover 180 minute in 1 minute by swimming from one end to another and back along the same path. Means same path she is returning back. उसी path से वो return हो रही है. ठीक है? तो how you are going to find out? Total time taken कितना हो जाएगा? It is 1 minute given. So 1 minute equal to
60 seconds.
60 seconds.
So average speed when you are going to calculate, how you are going to calculate? कैसे average speed को हम लोग calculate करेंगे? See, I am showing you
Distance
how we people are going to calculate average speed. Average speed को calculate कैसे करेंगे? See, first of all, total distance taken, that is 180. It is 180 total distances, and total time taken, we will do it like this: 1 into 60, it will be 60.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so it will be 3 meter per second. नहीं हो जाएगा, ठीक है? This is the what we are talking about. We are talking about average speed. Average speed. Average speed हुआ, ठीक है? Now, how we are going to find out the average velocity?
Initial plus final 2.
Yes, what is its initial position? Initial position, velocity में displacement कितना हुआ? Because she is returning back to the same path. So displacement equal to it will be 0. Displacement कितना हुआ? Because we are saying that she is returning from the same path, back along the same straight line. It means displacement equal to displacement कितना हुआ? 0. Okay, so in 1 minute, 0 displacement is taking place, and average velocity is equal to displacement upon time taken. So displacement here will be 0 because he is following the same path and returning back. ठीक है? Displacement कितना हो जाएगा? 0 हो जाएगा. और कितने सेकंड में? 60. ध्यान से देखो.
60 seconds में.
ये average speed हमने निकाला. Now we are going to find out average velocity. Average velocity को जब निकालेंगे तो average velocity में क्या हो जाएगा? Average velocity equal to displacement. So we are saying that she is moving in a swimming pool like this and again returning back along the same path. So displacement will be 0 and here it is will be 60. So what will be the answer? It will be, what will be the average velocity? Average velocity will be, average velocity क्या हो जाएगा? Yes.
0 meter per second.
Yes, it is 0 meter per second. This one will be the answer. So this is the question which is given in your NCERT book. ये जो है question तुम्हारे NCERT book में दिया हुआ है. I think now you the rate of change of velocity. Yes.
Uniform motion.
How rate of change of velocity will differ in uniform and non-uniform motion? कैसे differ करेगा बताओ? In uniform motion, what will be the rate of change of velocity? Anyone tell me? What will be the rate of change of velocity? Okay, the velocity will remain constant if it is uniform. Okay, uniform motion में वो velocity constant रहेगा. But if it is non-uniform, then what happen? The non-uniform है तो क्या होगा?
It varies with time.
It varies.